Zara's finger hovered over the call button. Joon's mother. A woman she had never met, never spoken to, had somehow gotten her number and was asking to meet. At 4 in the morning. On a dark Los Angeles street where Zara had nothing but a suitcase and $37 to her name. She pressed call. The phone rang once. Only once. You answered. The voice was older, accented, sharp with intelligence. Good. That tells me everything I need to know about you. How did you get my number? The same way I know you flew in from Baltimore. The same way I know you've been talking to my son for 14 months. The same way I know you're standing on Wilshire Boulevard right now, approximately 3 blocks from his apartment, wondering if you should go back or keep walking. Zara's blood went cold. She looked around, suddenly aware of every shadow, every parked car, every window that might be hiding watching eyes. Are you following me? I'm protecting my investment. There's a black car at the end of the block. Get in. The driver will bring you to me. You expect me to get into a stranger's car at 4 in the morning? I expect you to stop being naive and start being smart. You came to Los Angeles for love. That was foolish. But foolish is not the same as stupid, and I don't think you're stupid, Zara. I think you're desperate. And desperate women are the most dangerous kind. Zara saw the car. A black sedan with tinted windows, parked beneath a broken streetlight. It looked expensive. It looked dangerous. It looked like every warning her grandmother had ever given her about trusting people who had more power than she did. Why should I trust you? Zara asked. Because I'm the only person in this entire situation who's going to tell you the truth. My son lies because he's weak. His wife lies because she's greedy. But I have nothing to gain from lying to you, Zara. I only have something to gain from your cooperation. Cooperation with what? Get in the car. I'll explain everything. The line went dead. Zara stood there for a long moment, the phone pressed against her ear even though there was no one on the other end. She thought about her grandmother. What would she do? She would say that getting into a stranger's car in a strange city was the kind of decision that got women killed. She would say that pride was more important than curiosity. She would say that whatever Joon's mother was offering, it wasn't worth the risk. But her grandmother had never been stranded in Los Angeles with no money and no place to go. Zara walked toward the car. The driver was a woman. That was the first surprise. She was young, maybe 25, with close-cropped hair and the kind of muscles that suggested she could handle herself in a fight. She didn't speak. She just opened the back door and waited. Zara got in. The interior smelled like leather and money. The seats were softer than her bed back home. There was a partition between the front and back, completely opaque, so Zara couldn't see where they were going. She tried to track the turns, the stops, the length of time they drove, but her exhausted brain couldn't hold on to the information. 20 minutes later, the car stopped. The door opened. And Zara stepped out into a world she had never seen before. The house was massive. Not a house. A mansion. 3 stories of white stone and glass, surrounded by manicured gardens that probably cost more to maintain than Zara made in a year. Fountains. Sculptures. A circular driveway that could have held a dozen cars. This was wealth. Real wealth. The kind of wealth that made Joon's cramped apartment look like a joke. This way. The driver led her up the front steps, through a door that opened automatically, into a foyer that was bigger than Zara's entire apartment in Baltimore. Marble floors. Crystal chandeliers. Fresh flowers in vases that looked like they belonged in a museum. And standing at the top of a sweeping staircase, dressed in a silk robe the color of champagne, was the most elegant woman Zara had ever seen. She was older. Maybe 60. Maybe more. But age had only refined her beauty, sharpening her cheekbones, silvering her hair, giving her the kind of presence that made everyone else in the room feel small. Zara, the woman said, descending the stairs like a queen approaching a subject. I'm Minji Kwan. Joon's mother. Thank you for coming. I didn't have much choice. We always have choices. You made the right one. She reached the bottom of the stairs and extended her hand. Not for a handshake. For Zara to take, like she was being presented at court. Come. We have much to discuss. Now, before I tell you what happened in that conversation, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell because you're not going to want to miss what comes next. Drop a like on this video and comment below with the time and location you're watching from. I want to know if you're up late watching this or catching it on your lunch break. Let me know you're here, and let's get back to Zara, standing in a mansion at 4 in the morning, about to have the most important conversation of her life. Minji led her through the house, past rooms that looked like they had been decorated by professionals, past artwork that probably cost more than Zara's nursing degree, until they reached a study at the back of the first floor. It was smaller than the other rooms. More intimate. 2 leather chairs facing a fireplace that was burning despite the California warmth. Sit, Minji said. Zara sat. Minji poured 2 glasses of something amber from a crystal decanter. She handed one to Zara and took the other for herself, settling into the opposite chair with the grace of someone who had been taught how to sit from birth. You're wondering why you're here, Minji said. Among other things. I'll be direct. I don't have patience for games, and you don't have time for them. My son is in danger. Real danger. And you are the only person who can save him. Zara almost laughed. Save him? From what? His own lies? From Sumin. The name hung in the air between them. His wife, Zara said flatly. His wife in name only. A marriage I arranged, to my eternal regret. I thought I was giving my son stability. Structure. A partner who would help him build the life he was meant to have. Instead, I gave him a predator. Zara took a sip of the drink. It burned going down, but it steadied her nerves. She told me the same thing about him. That he was the predator. That he collected women like trophies. And you believed her? I believed something. There was a woman before me. Brazilian. Sumin told me about her. Minji's expression shifted. Something flickered across her face. Grief, maybe. Or guilt. Her name was Camila, Minji said quietly. She was beautiful. Kind. She genuinely loved my son. And 3 weeks after she arrived in Los Angeles, she was found dead in a hotel room. The police called it suicide. Zara's glass slipped in her hand. She caught it before it fell, but some of the liquid splashed onto her fingers. What? Sumin told you about her, didn't she? Told you she left after 3 days because she understood the situation? That was a lie. Camila didn't leave. Camila died. And I have spent 2 years trying to prove that Sumin killed her. The room seemed to tilt. Zara gripped the arm of the chair, trying to anchor herself to something solid. That's not, she was kind to me. She offered me tea. She let me sleep on the couch. Of course she did. Sumin is very good at seeming kind. She seemed kind to Camila too, right up until the moment she wasn't. That's how she operates. She makes you trust her. She makes you feel like you're on the same side. And then she destroys you. Why? Why would she kill someone? Because Camila was a threat. Just like you're a threat. Don't you understand, Zara? My son may be weak, he may be a coward, he may have lied to you about his marriage. But he's not a monster. He's a man trapped in a cage, and Sumin is the one holding the key. Zara stood up. She needed to move. Needed to pace. Needed to do something with the energy that was building inside her. This doesn't make sense. If you knew all this, if you suspected she killed someone, why didn't you go to the police? I did. They found no evidence of foul play. The medical examiner ruled it a suicide. Camila had a history of depression. She had attempted once before, years ago in Brazil. It was easy for Sumin to make it look like she simply gave up. But you don't believe that. I know my son. I know how Camila looked at him. I saw them together, once, before everything fell apart. That woman was not suicidal. She was hopeful. She believed she had finally found something worth living for. And then, suddenly, she was dead. Zara stopped pacing. What do you want from me? Minji set down her glass and leaned forward. I want you to help me get evidence. Proof that Su Min is not who she pretends to be. Proof that she killed Camila. Proof that will put her in prison where she belongs. How am I supposed to do that? By staying. By pretending to be exactly what Su Min thinks you are, a naive, heartbroken woman who can be manipulated. You heard her tonight. She thinks she's won. She thinks she's exposed my son and destroyed his chance at happiness. She'll let her guard down around you. She'll say things she wouldn't say to anyone else. And you'll be listening. Zara shook her head. You want me to spy for you. I want you to help me get justice for a woman who deserved better. And I want you to protect my son from a woman who will destroy him the moment he's no longer useful to her. Why should I care about your son? He lied to me. He broke my heart. He let me fly 6,000 miles without telling me he had a wife. Minji stood. She walked to the fireplace and stared into the flames. Did he tell you why he couldn't refuse the marriage? He said his family would disown him. Take his inheritance. That's part of it. But that's not all of it. She turned to face Zara. My son has a child. A daughter. She's 3 years old. Her name is Yuna. And Su Min has been threatening to take her away ever since the day she was born. Zara felt the floor drop out from under her. A daughter? Su Min got pregnant 2 years into the marriage. It was calculated. She knew that a child would bind Joon to her forever. That he would never leave if it meant losing his daughter. And she was right. For 3 years, he has stayed in that marriage, endured her cruelty, accepted her affairs, because every time he mentions divorce, she threatens to take Yuna and disappear. And under Korean law, she has every right to do exactly that. Zara pressed her hands to her face. This was too much. Too many revelations, too many secrets, too many layers of complication that she had never imagined. He has a daughter, she repeated. He never told me. He never tells anyone. Yuna is his weakness. His vulnerability. If people knew about her, they would understand exactly how much power Su Min has over him. They would see him as pathetic instead of villainous. And Su Min prefers it when people see him as the villain. Where is she? The little girl? With my husband. At our home in Korea. We've had custody of her for the past 6 months while Su Min and Joon fight over the divorce terms. She's safe, for now. But if Su Min gets what she wants, if she destroys my son publicly and walks away with half of everything, she'll take Yuna too. Not because she loves her. Because taking her will hurt Joon more than anything else she could do. Zara lowered her hands. She looked at this woman, this elegant, powerful woman who could have anything she wanted and was asking for help from a broke nurse from Baltimore. Why me? Zara asked. You have money. Resources. You could hire anyone. I tried. Su Min is careful. She doesn't trust easily. But she trusts you. She saw you as a victim, just like her. A woman wronged by my son. She'll open up to you in ways she never would to a stranger. You're my best chance, Zara. My only chance. And what do I get out of this? Minji smiled. It was a cold smile, but not unkind. What do you want? I want to go home. I want to forget this ever happened. I want to find a man who doesn't have a secret wife and a secret daughter and a secret family drama that belongs in a Netflix series. I can give you that. Money. A fresh start. Enough to pay off your debts, buy a house, never work another double shift as long as you live. All I ask is 1 month. 1 month of staying close to Soo-min, earning her trust, finding out what she's hiding. After that, you can walk away with enough money to build whatever life you want. Zara wanted to say no. Every instinct told her to say no. This was insane. This was dangerous. This was exactly the kind of situation her grandmother had warned her about. But then she thought about Camila. A woman just like her. A woman who had flown across an ocean for love. A woman who had ended up dead in a hotel room, labeled a suicide, forgotten by everyone except the family that couldn't prove she had been murdered. That could have been her. That still could be her, if Soo-min decided she was a threat. 1 month, Zara said. 1 month. And you'll tell me everything. Every secret. Every lie. Everything your family has been hiding. I'm not walking into this blind. Agreed. And if things get dangerous, if I feel like I'm in over my head, I walk away. No arguments. No guilt trips. I just leave. Agreed. Zara extended her hand. Minji took it. Her grip was firm, businesslike, the grip of a woman who was used to making deals. Welcome to the family, Minji said. And something in her smile made Zara wonder if she had just made the best decision of her life or the worst. Pause. I need to stop right here and ask you something. Do you think Zara should trust Minji? Is she telling the truth about Soo-min, or is she just another player in this twisted game? And what about Joon? Does he even know what his mother is planning? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now because the next part of this story is going to turn everything upside down. The sun was rising by the time Zara returned to Joon's apartment. She had a plan now. A purpose. Minji had given her a phone with a direct line to call if anything went wrong, along with $5,000 in cash and instructions to act heartbroken and vulnerable. To let Soo-min think she had one. To become the friend that Soo-min never knew she needed. It was manipulation. Zara knew that. She was becoming exactly what she had accused Joon of being. But then she thought about Camila, dead in a hotel room, and her guilt faded. She knocked on the apartment door. Soo-min answered. She was still in Joon's bathrobe, still beautiful, still smiling that knowing smile. You came back, she said. I didn't think you would. I didn't have anywhere else to go. I know. That's why I left the door unlocked. She stepped aside. Come in. I made coffee. The apartment looked different in daylight. Smaller. Sadder. The gray couch where Zara had slept looked worn and cheap. The glass coffee table had a crack running through one corner. Everything about this place felt temporary, like it was waiting for someone to come along and tear it down. Where's Joon? Zara asked. Who knows? Who cares? Soo-min poured 2 cups of coffee and handed one to Zara. He's probably at his mother's house, crying about how unfair his life is. That's what he does whenever things get hard. He runs to mommy. Zara wrapped her hands around the cup, feeling its warmth. You really hate him. I really do. Does that surprise you? A little. You seemed almost sympathetic last night. Soo-min sat on the couch, pulling her legs up beneath her in that same graceful motion from the night before. I was sympathetic. To you. You're a victim in this, just like I am. But Joon? Joon is not a victim. Joon is a coward who makes victims out of everyone around him. What did he do to you? Besides trapping me in a loveless marriage? Besides making me move to a country where I have no friends, no family, nothing except this miserable apartment and his empty promises? Soo-min's voice hardened. He made me believe that things would get better. He made me believe that he would eventually choose me. That if I was patient enough, loyal enough, good enough, he would stop looking at other women and start seeing me. But he never did. He never even tried. Zara sat on the opposite end of the couch. So you decided to punish him. I decided to protect myself. There's a difference. Is there? Sumin smiled. I like you, Zara. You're not as naive as you seem. Most women in your position would be crying, begging for explanations, trying to fix something that was never whole to begin with. But you're thinking. Calculating. Figuring out your next move. I respect that. What makes you think I have a next move? Because you came back. A woman with no next move would have kept walking. She would have found a way to the airport and gone home to lick her wounds. But you came back, which means you want something. The question is, what? Zara took a sip of her coffee. It was bitter, too strong, but she drank it anyway. I want to understand, she said. I want to know what I got myself into. I want to know who Joon really is, not who he pretended to be. And you think I can tell you that? I think you know more about him than anyone. Sumin studied her for a long moment. Her eyes were sharp, calculating, missing nothing. All right, she said finally. I'll tell you. But not for free. Nothing in this world is free, Zara. You want information? You give information. That's how this works. What do you want to know? Everything. Every conversation you ever had with him. Every promise he made. Every lie he told. I want to know exactly how he seduced you so I can use it against him. Zara felt the trap closing around her. She was supposed to be gathering information on Sumin, not the other way around. But she couldn't refuse without making Sumin suspicious. Fine, she said. But I want you to go first. Fair enough. Sumin set down her coffee and leaned back against the couch cushions. What do you want to know? Tell me about the woman before me. The Brazilian. Something flickered across Sumin's face. It was fast, barely visible, but Zara caught it. Fear? Guilt? Something that didn't match her confident facade. Camila, Sumin said. Her name was Camila. What happened to her? She killed herself. That's what the police said. What do you say? Sumin's eyes narrowed. Why do you ask it like that? Because you seem like a woman who knows things. Things other people don't. I'm just wondering if you know something about Camila that the police missed. The silence stretched between them. Zara could feel her heart pounding, could feel the sweat forming on her palms. She had pushed too hard too fast. She had made Sumin suspicious. But then Sumin smiled. You're clever, she said. I didn't expect that. Most of Joon's women are pretty but empty. You're different. Is that a compliment? It's an observation. And to answer your question, I don't know anything about Camila that the police don't know. She was depressed. She was unstable. She found out about me, just like you did, and she couldn't handle it. Some women are built for heartbreak. Some women aren't. Camila wasn't. You sound very certain. I am. I saw her, the night before she died. She came here, just like you did, looking for answers. And I told her the truth, just like I told you. The difference is that you're still standing. She wasn't strong enough. Zara set down her coffee cup. You saw her? The night before she died? Yes. And you didn't think to mention that to the police? Why would I? I didn't do anything wrong. I just told her the truth about the man she loved. What she did with that truth was her choice. There was something cold in Sumin's voice. Something that made Zara's skin crawl. What exactly did you tell her? The same thing I told you. That Joon was married. That he would never leave me. That she had wasted her time and her heart on a man who didn't deserve either. And that made her kill herself? Apparently. Zara stood up. She walked to the window and looked out at the fire escape, at the city below, at the world that suddenly felt much more dangerous than it had 24 hours ago. "I don't believe you," she said. She heard Sumin rise from the couch. Heard her footsteps approaching. Felt her presence behind her like a shadow. "That's interesting," Sumin said. "Because I don't believe you either." Zara turned around. Sumin was standing close. Too close. Her eyes were hard now, the kindness from last night completely gone. "You came back," Sumin said. "You came back even though you had every reason to leave. You're asking questions about Camila, a woman you shouldn't know anything about. And you're looking at me like you're trying to solve a puzzle." She tilted her head. "Who are you really, Zara? What do you want?" Zara's mind raced. She was blown. Somehow, she had given herself away. She needed to recover, needed to find an explanation that would satisfy Sumin's suspicion. "I'm exactly who I said I am," Zara said. "A woman who flew across an ocean for a man who lied to her. But I'm not going to crawl home with my tail between my legs. If Joon wants to play games, I can play games too. And if you're willing to help me, we can both get what we want." "What do you think I want?" "Money. You said so yourself. Half of everything." "And what do you want?" Zara let the anger she had been suppressing rise to the surface. Let Sumin see the fury, the hurt, the betrayal. "I want to make him pay," she said. "I want him to feel what I felt when I walked into this apartment and found you wearing his bathrobe. I want him to lose something precious, the way I lost 14 months of my life believing in a fantasy. And if destroying him gets you what you want too, then we should be working together, not against each other." Sumin studied her for a long moment. Then she smiled. "I knew I liked you," she said. "Partners, then?" She extended her hand. Zara took it. Partners. 3 days passed. 3 days of sharing meals with Sumin, sharing stories. Sharing anger at the man who had wronged them both. Zara played her role perfectly, feeding Sumin carefully selected information about her relationship with Joon while gathering every detail she could about Camila's death. Sumin was careful. She never said anything directly incriminating. But she let things slip. Small things. The name of the hotel where Camila died. The fact that she had visited Camila there twice, not just the night before her death. The way she always changed the subject when Zara asked what they had talked about. Zara reported everything to Minji through encrypted messages on the phone she had been given. Minji was pleased. The hotel information was new. The second visit was new. Everything was moving in the right direction. And then, on the 4th day, Joon came home. Zara was alone in the apartment when she heard the key in the lock. Sumin had gone out for groceries. She wouldn't be back for at least an hour. The door opened. Joon stood in the doorway, looking worse than she had ever seen him. His suit was wrinkled. His hair was unwashed. His eyes were red-rimmed and haunted. "You're still here," he said. "I am. With her. Where else would I go?" He stepped into the apartment and closed the door behind him. "My mother told me what she asked you to do." Zara felt her blood run cold. "What?" "She called me this morning. Told me everything. The plan. The investigation. The way she's using you to get to Sumin." He laughed, but it was a broken sound. "My mother never changes. She always thinks she can manipulate everyone into doing what she wants." "She told you?" "She wanted me to cooperate. To help sell the story. To pretend I don't know what's happening so Sumin doesn't get suspicious." He walked to the couch and sat down heavily. "I told her no." "Why?" "Because I'm tired, Zara. I'm tired of the games. Tired of the lies. Tired of everyone using everyone else like pieces on a chessboard. I just want it to stop." Zara sat down across from him. "Then make it stop. Tell me the truth. All of it. No more secrets. No more lies. Just tell me who you really are and what's really happening. He looked at her. And for the first time, she saw past the charm, past the beauty, past the facade. She saw a man who was exhausted. Broken. Desperate for someone to see him clearly. Sumin killed Camila, he said. I don't have proof, but I know it. I know it in my bones. She was threatened by Camila the same way she's threatened by you. And when Camila refused to leave, when she said she would fight for me no matter what, Sumin decided to remove the problem permanently. How? I don't know. Pills, maybe. Camila was on medication for anxiety. It would have been easy to give her too much. To make it look like an accident or a suicide. Sumin is smart. Smarter than anyone gives her credit for. Then why haven't you told anyone? Because I can't prove it. And because every time I try to fight her, she threatens to take Yuna. My daughter. My little girl. She's the only good thing that's ever come out of this marriage, and Sumin knows I would burn the whole world to protect her. Tears were streaming down his face now. Real tears. The kind that couldn't be faked. I loved you, he said. I still love you. Everything I told you over those 14 months was true. You were my escape. My hope. My reason to believe that maybe, I could find a way out of this nightmare. But I should never have let you come here. I should never have put you in danger. What danger? Sumin knows something is wrong. She's suspicious of you. Of your questions. Of how you came back instead of leaving. She's testing you, Zara. She's waiting for you to make a mistake. And when you do, she's going to do to you what she did to Camila. The door opened. Sumin stood in the doorway, grocery bags in her hands. Her eyes moved from Joon to Zara and back again. Her face was completely calm. Completely composed. Well, she said. Isn't this cozy? Joon stood up. Sumin. Don't. I heard enough. She set the grocery bags on the floor and stepped into the apartment. I knew something was wrong. I knew she was different from the others. And now I know why. She looked at Zara. You're working for his mother. Aren't you? Zara didn't answer. Of course you are. It makes perfect sense now. The questions about Camila. The way you keep pushing for details. The phone you hide in your bra when you think I'm not looking. She smiled. I found it, by the way. This morning, while you were in the shower. Interesting messages between you and Minji. Very detailed. Very incriminating. Zara's stomach dropped. What did you do? I sent myself copies, of course. Documentation is everything. And now I have evidence that my mother-in-law hired a stranger to spy on me. That should be worth at least another $1 million in the settlement. This isn't about money, Joon said. It's about Camila. It's about what you did to her. What I did to her? She killed herself, Joon. Everyone knows that. Everyone believes that. It's not the same thing. Sumin's smile didn't waver. You should be careful. Accusations like that could be considered slander. I might have to add that to my lawsuit. You're not going to win, Zara said. Whatever you think you have, it won't be enough. Minji has resources. Power. She'll find the evidence she needs, and she'll destroy you. Will she? Because from where I'm standing, she's the one who should be worried. After all, she's the one who just confessed to conspiracy. In writing. On a phone that I now have copies of. She picked up the grocery bags and walked to the kitchen. You should both leave. I have dinner to prepare. Sumin. She turned. Joon's voice was low, dangerous. If anything happens to Zara, I will kill you myself. I don't care about the consequences. I don't care about Yuna. I don't care about any of it. If you touch her, I will end you. Something flickered across Sumin's face. The first crack in her composure. "You don't have the courage," she said. "Try me." They stared at each other for a long moment. The air between them was electric, charged with years of hatred and resentment and things left unsaid. Then Sumin laughed. "You're pathetic," she said. "You've always been pathetic. And you always will be." She turned back to the kitchen. "Get out. Both of you. I'm done playing." Joon grabbed Zara's hand. "Come on." They left the apartment together. Outside, in the hallway, Zara finally let herself breathe. "What do we do now?" she asked. "We go to my mother. We tell her what happened. And we figure out our next move. She has the phone. She has the messages. She knows everything." "I know." Joon's jaw tightened. "But she doesn't know everything. There's something she doesn't know. Something nobody knows except me and one other person." "What?" He looked at her. His eyes were hard now. Determined. The broken man from the apartment had been replaced by someone else. Someone who was finally ready to fight. "Camila didn't die in that hotel room," he said. "She's alive. And I know where she is." Zara stared at him. "What?" "You heard me. Camila is alive." The whole thing was staged. The suicide, the investigation, all of it. It was the only way to get her away from Sumin. The only way to keep her safe. "But, your mother. She thinks Camila is dead. She thinks Sumin murdered her." "I know. Everyone thinks that." That was the point. If Sumin believed she had succeeded, she would stop looking. She would let her guard down. And eventually, when the time was right, Camila would come back and tell everyone what really happened. What did happen? Joon's grip on her hand tightened. Sumin didn't kill Camila. She tried to. She put pills in her drink and left her to die. But I found her in time. I called a doctor I trusted, someone who owed me a favor. We saved her, faked her death, and got her out of the country. Where is she now? Brazil. With her family. Waiting for my signal. Zara's mind was reeling. Everything she thought she knew was wrong. Camila was alive. The murder had been attempted but failed. And Joon wasn't a coward. He was a man who had been fighting in secret for years. "Why didn't you tell your mother?" Zara asked. "Because I don't trust her. My mother doesn't care about justice, Zara. She cares about control. If she knew Camila was alive, she would use her as a weapon. She would parade her in front of cameras, destroy Sumin publicly, and then discard Camila the moment she was no longer useful. I couldn't let that happen. So what's the plan?" The plan was to wait. To gather evidence carefully, quietly, without anyone knowing. But Sumin forced my hand. She found the phone. She knows my mother is investigating. We've run out of time. What do we do? Joon pulled her toward the elevator. We go to Brazil. We bring Camila back. And we end this once and for all. Now I know you have a million questions. Is Joon finally telling the truth? Is Camila really alive? What will happen when Sumin realizes she's been outmaneuvered? And what about Minji? What will she do when she discovers her son has been lying to her this whole time? If you want to find out, you need to subscribe right now. Hit that button. Turn on notifications. Because part 3 is going to reveal secrets that will change everything. Secrets about the real reason Joon's family arranged his marriage. Secrets about who Sumin really is and what she's really after. And secrets about Zara herself, secrets she doesn't even know yet. Trust me when I tell you, you are not prepared for what comes next. The elevator doors opened. And standing inside, holding a phone with a photograph on the screen, was Sumin. Going somewhere? She asked. The photograph on her phone was of a woman on a beach. Dark hair. Beautiful smile. Very much alive. I told you, Sumin said, her voice cold as ice. I know everything. She stepped out of the elevator. Now. Let's discuss what you're going to do to make this right. Because if you don't, I'm going to make sure that Camila doesn't survive this time. And neither will your precious daughter. The elevator doors closed behind her. And Zara realized with horrifying clarity that this nightmare was only just beginning.